Hey, how are you, Matt?
Pretty good, Mayor. Hey, so I'm sitting here, and Jim Deedlow and Al Hamnick were talking about the sports facility, and so a caller from Portage said he was very proud of it, and Jim and they were talking back and forth about where what's going on here, and I said, you know what? Why don't I just text the mayor and have him tell everybody what's going on? I'm here with
Sure.
Dave Kuziak, my co-host. This is Mayor Snyder from Portage, and Mayor, why don't you tell the listeners what's going on and how cool it is?
Sure. We so I, Tony Chopla and the Sport Resort and Catalyst Lifestyles have been working on this for some time in different communities, and they just didn't work in some of the communities. The unique thing about the ground and the land that they're putting this on is it's very difficult soil to put. A dome will work really good. What they're doing, where they're doing it, and so they're doing a massive sports dome. I think it's gonna. I think that it's gonna be the largest in the nation. They're partnering with I believe Lakeshore Bone and Joint to have a sports medicine complex on site for people that are coming in, and it's a real niche aspect. So when you talk about the niche is one of the things they pitched to me when they were talking about it was the National Horseshoe Tournament. Literally has 4,000 people that show up, and then 6,000 or participate, and they bring 6,000 to 10,000 people with them in tourism money around it to watch, and different things that they do that they're going to be able to really extract from the market, which will be really helpful to us. They're working on rugby really hard right now, and just a lot of different neat things that they're going to put together. And as they grow around it, they intend to do an indoor-outdoor water park and a drive-in movie theater type atmosphere, along with what they're building now. So what's going up now is a campground, a KOA campground. Because of the niche that they have, you're going to have people that are going to need lodging and things like that, and most of them bring their RVs. And then the other part of it is they're building a cable wakeboard pond for. I'm anxious to try that. I don't know how long I'll stay up.
I don't know about that.
Mayor Snyder, this is Dave Kuziak. Sounds like this project is going to be a weekend destination point for those individuals who do either travel sports or whatever event is going to be held at your location.
Yes, and it's visible. It'll be visible off of 94, and which will help them immensely. But it'll also create. We already have the Bass Pro Shop component.
Mm-hmm.
We have the IMAX.
Yep.
We have the most visited national lakeshore in the Midwest. We have Portage West Beach, and on top of it, we have County Line Orchard. So if you think of all the different amenities that people can come and enjoy for a weekend, or maybe a 5-day, a longer weekend, while their kids are participating or while their family's participating in some sort of a sport, it's going to be really neat.
Do we have the number of beds in the surrounding area that we need, or is there going to be, if this project gets off its feet, a need for additional beds?
There'll be a need for additional beds if it goes to its full potential, which we believe it will. Tony's been dreaming about this for a long time, and it was a really exciting day for him yesterday to see it through. And Portage is, one of my jobs is having to be a steward of the land and making sure that we get it right and get things in the right places. And sometimes that can be a difficult dynamic with the private sector. Mm-hmm. And we worked really hard, and I believe I'm really grateful that Tony was amicable to what we were looking for and the things that we were trying to do to make sure that those are some beautiful dunes and some beautiful properties up there.
So playing devil's advocate for, first of all, how much tax dollars would you say either from the state or the county or from Portage goes into this? And then number two, was there any thought process of saturation points among the type of people that you're bringing in? I know that there's a proposed place right down the street here in Hammond at the old Walmart site. I know that Crown Point recently has had some things going on. So these are popping up left and right. Is Tony, is he worried about any of that?
No, I think that those will be helpful to Tony. So say you get the national rugby tournament here, and then you have it's going to be beneficial to Crown Point, Hammond, whatever sports complexes there are throughout the region. because to get the tournament started, you're not going to be able to just use one field. You're going to need all those facilities if they choose to do things indoors or whatever they choose to do. So really, all of those sites are going to be very helpful, and that they were helpful in Tony's investors choosing this site because of the feeder type system. I mean, you land a major softball tournament and you can house it, and you land something majorly indoors, and we're poised better than anybody in the country to handle big, large events.
And percentage of tax dollars that were levied?
0.
So for those people that are worried about that, it's not Portage is not on the hook for any of it.
So like I said, it's a private sector investment, and going back to sitting there, some jurisdictions, Portage in particular, they said, okay, here's, when somebody says, I want to spend $75 million and it's their money, you try and encourage it. When they say, I want 75 of your money, it's a different conversation.
You bet.
Altogether.
You bet. And Tony came in right away saying that, now, we want to help partner with him on some things.
Sure.
And, we've got some things in the works that we'll be talking about in the next, 2 months of where we're going to be trying to capture state dollars to help them and to do some things. But we've been, in fact, they bought the land from us, so we get a $600,000 a year payment from them.
Yeah,
so,
and I brought that up, Mayor, before. But so people are always worried. Oh, the tax dollars, and I said, there's no money coming out of the checking account from the city of Portage for this now, or that's it. So that's the important part of it. There's the private sector at work here, but you do have to have government come together. And I remember working on this project a long time ago, not only just in Portage but in other places. And you talk about you having this 3 million people that go to the National Lakeshore, and I don't care if you want to say 3 or 1 million. That's a lot of people, and we've been trying to capture that market into the 3-day, 5-day something, and it's certainly going to help that proposition.
This is going to be helpful to the entire region. You brought up a good point earlier about the larger events, and we want. I don't think that there's all the mayors are pretty regional, but I think that the actions that we've done in Portage have shown how regional we really are, and how we really care about the other communities and want to see them succeed. So this will be a major private benefit to all of them as this opportunity grows. And you think of a Tony's just a great guy, but you think about Cedar Point or these big amenities, and the people that had to put those together and go get the financing and convince people to give them money.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to really work at it. And Tony's been at this for years in the region.
Oh, yes.
And I think it all came together for him well at the right spot. He tried several different locations, but if you think about that spot, and Matt, you know a lot about that spot from soil borings and things like that. All the planets aligned at the right time for him.
Mayor, I want to thank you for calling in, and we were here during the snowstorm when Portage helped out other communities, and there were some people that gave you some flack, and I got to let you know that I was not one of those. As
Thanks.
I happen to be a business owner and realize what resources are, and I don't really care much about borders, and I applaud you for that, and I find it so funny as a truck goes to a certain area and has to turn around because of a border instead of at least driving to the next intersection to turn around and do a loop. Well, it's kind of silly.
And Dave, as you brought up that point, what the mayor was getting about is this regional opportunity. The tourist, the sports person, they don't know where the Porter County line is in relation to Lake County or St. Joe or Timbuktu. What they know is, hey, that stuff's over there. Yeah. So this is where we're going to go, and it talks about the mayor mentioned it's good for the region. There's no doubt about it.
Hey, Matt, I want you to schedule me again because I'd like to start talking regionally about the wheel tax as well.
Okay, yeah, that's right. You were on there. Well, you know what? I'll get with your office, and then we'll get you back on here, and we'll figure out a frequency because, you know what, Mayor, people do want to know what's going on in Porter County, specifically in your neck of the woods.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, thanks for the call. That
Talk to you in a bit.
All right, that was
you guys. Bye-bye.
The mayor of Portage, Mayor Snyder, and Matt